All right, thanks, Brett and Martha. Welcome to Hannity. And yes, we are live. We are in Washington, D.C., where only moments ago, President Trump wrapped up his first joint address to Congress of his second term. Coming up, we got a lot of reaction analysis from several people who were inside the chamber. Senator Ted Cruz will join us, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, our Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and House Speaker Mike Johnson, and many other special guests. We'll also check in on our friends in the Democratic Party who continue to make just utter fools of themselves with their little props and disruptive outbursts and coordinated smears and even some vigorous cane waving. Take a look.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country. Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
All right, a lot more on these antics in just a moment. While Democrats, they play stupid games with their performative stunts, President Trump is on the move. The nation saw that tonight in all of its force, if you will. In only 6 weeks, we have seen more action, more results from the Oval Office than almost anyone thought possible. Let's take a look.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first day. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer. I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
On top of all that, President Trump created DOGE to identify waste, fraud, abuse, corruption, now rampant inside our federal bureaucracy, including Social Security fraud. Take a look.
1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby. including to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229, one person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty.
And, of course, the Bobby Kennedy joke, one of the big lines of the night. Of course, the Democrats in the room did not celebrate Doge. In fact, they couldn't even bring themselves to stand and cheer for President Trump's pledge to remove taxes on tips and overtime and Social Security. Take a look.
Very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Democrats tonight were so pathetic, they couldn't even stand for Laken Riley's family. Jocelyn Nungary, his mother, a slain officer's wife, Stephanie Diller. They couldn't even stand for a beautiful 13-year-old cancer survivor who dreams of being a police officer and tonight became a Secret Service agent, DJ Daniel. He said, "This is my 5th time at a joint address from President Trump. And sadly, there is nothing this president could do or say that would make these Democrats stand and cheer. This has now become a party of rage and hate, a radicalized party reduced to a collective temper tantrum, sitting on their hands, doing nothing for the American people. But tonight, this is also a defeated party. No solutions, no coherent message, no plan for the future, simply reduced to political stunts and smears and outright lies. And they were holding the little signs that read, "Save Medicaid," even though President Trump promised to protect it. Others held signs smearing Elon Musk. Congresswoman Tlaib brought her very own whiteboard. Karl Rove will be jealous, presumably so she could make it up as she goes along. But tonight's speech wasn't about the angry Democrats that have no vision for our country on the left side of the chamber. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even about politicians on either side of the aisle. As always, President Trump's speech was dedicated to you, the people that make this country great, the American people. Moments ago, the president highlighted the courage of one brave young man from Texas. This was quite a moment. Take a look.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
How great was that?